Welcome everyone on this very special live conversation, actually, because we're not going to do a real live conversation on a topic with a guest speaker, etc. But it's actually a lot of focus on opening the season for everything that we do on lifelong learning, actually, on the Wize Move Society. So it's really excited to see several of our teachers here, our experts, who will be bringing the program. And we're going to discuss a little bit more about why and how we're going to do that. So really excited moment. Well, my name is Ingun Bol, and I'm the creator of the Wize Move Society, an online platform for the over 50. And for us, it is very important, especially for this age group, for this generation, to keep, well, to really stay active, but also that lifelong learning, that you really work on your brain, but also to figure out what you're going to do in the next stage of your life and how you're going to do this. So there will be a lot to talk about. What I would like to do first, before I will be talking to all these wonderful experts in the group by now, I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to share you a little bit about what we as Wize Move Society bring in total. So here you can see our total overview, and many of you have already seen it. But anyhow, when we started with the Wize Move Society and said, well, you know, people, especially in that age over 50, in their 50s, in their 60s, and some even in their 70s or 80s, they want to stay active, they want to stay engaged. And, you know, the things that they have been doing before in their professional life, they're looking into other opportunities, but also so if I do want to do something else, if I really are going to follow my heart, going to do the things that make me happy and fulfilled, then what do I need for that next step? So we have been designing this total vision around lifelong learning and around making that transformation into the next stage of your life. And that is actually what you see here in this visual. So you see the Wize Move Society here in the middle. It is a lot about healthy aging. So that goes from lifestyle, we're doing yoga, breathing. That's also, you know, it's not just the physical, it's also the mental and the mindset, so the emotional part of it. But moving forward, if you are going to change things in your life, then it's also important to create a new network around you, people who can support you and cheer you on to that next phase of your life, but also new friends, a new support system. So we'll look into that. We'll figure out what we're going to do. So really on that work field, is it that we want that job, or is it that we want to start a business? And if we do, then what is it that we're going to do? Because we want to stay close to who we are. That is at least something that we have learned. Next career, semi-retirement maybe. But this is this circle, and I will share more about it when we talk to our influencers, our teachers, our experts. Then you will see that we move through these different stages. So this part is all what we do, not so much on the Wize Move Society, but, you know, for everyone else. So Wize Move Society on the workspace is more focused on organizations. The live conversations, like what we're doing now on the Tuesday afternoon, is for each and everyone, and mostly also to create more awareness of what is happening in the world around this aging population. The happy hours, once a month, that we invite everyone who wants to, get a little glimpse of what is happening on that Wize Move Society in that online community, but also meet some of the members. And then there's a summit. That is also something that we do. That was, for instance, now in April, to also create more awareness and share what knowledge, experience, and wisdom that we have already gained and built on our community. So looking at this picture, then you will see that, you know, we move from healthy aging to that more that friend part, that network part, to that career part and into leadership, but also experience entrepreneurship, so senior entrepreneurship. So we'll talk more about that. So I just wanted to show you that visual, and maybe during the this hour, I will show it again. But for now, you know, if I look again at this picture, if we have it in our mind, and that is already a brain train, we really started with the healthy aging part. And Deborah, that is where you come in. So can you shortly introduce yourself and share a little bit, well, why is that healthy aging so important? And what is it that you will be bringing on the Wize Move Society?
I would be delighted to, Ingen. And what a wonderful introduction. Who wouldn't be excited about all your programs? I sure am. Well, to me, that healthy aging is the foundation. It's one of our foundations, because if we're feeling healthy, we're feeling vital, we're feeling energetic, we have more, feel like we've got more control over our emotions, and they don't take us down a path of just into the dirt. Well, it's because we feel like we're more confidently in control of our life. And now we know that life just serves us up with so many surprises, but to have the resilience, as Mary Jane would obviously just applaud, when we have the resilience to come back to that place of feeling centered, then we feel like we're more in control of our body, our mind, our emotions, and just who we are in the world. And the yoga, what I have found, I've been doing it for over 48 years, just it allows my body to be more, or me to be in tune with my body. And so when I feel some creaks and groans going on, then I have the wherewithal to do it. Breathing is very, very essential, because if we don't breathe, we're not going to be here. So we want to be able to do that in a way that is going to be able to settle us down or revitalize us and keep us healthy, because you can be breathing in a way that isn't efficient, and it could actually be making you more excited and more stressed. And so when you've got the proper tools, you can relax and be able to think more clearly and go forward in your project or whatever you're doing, because you've got tools. You've got tools that you can continually come back to. And that's what my job is. My job is to give you some tools that you can use. Very simple. You don't have to go anywhere. You can do it at your desk. You can do it in your kitchen. You can do it in your living room, whatever. And that's my job, is I'm going to give you some really simple tools that will empower you.
Yes, thank you, Deborah. And you know, the one of the things, of course, what I wondered is how much effect does it have when you do some of these sessions with you, that you really feel things happening, and you are, you know, on that other side of the screen, because we do everything online. We work with groups, so it is always real time, but it is so effective. You know, recently I did only 4 sessions, so once a week, and it was amazing to see what kind of impact it had on me.
You know, Ingen, and there's a reason why I have maintained my yoga for all this time, because what yoga is, it's unifying, and it's using many aspects of who we are, and it's unifying who we are. So when we are doing a yoga pose, it can be so simple, but we're using our mind, we're using our breath, we're using our very being, and we're not just doing and up and down in my arm, up and down and 5 or 6, 7 or 8. We're learning to really have a nice connection with the inside. So it's the feeling, it's the mindfulness, it's just being very present. And that's so empowering, because it's your whole being that's getting a workout. It's not, it's the spiritual aspect of you. Everything impacts everything else.
Mhm.
And so it's a holistic approach. And that's what I love about yoga. And that's what my job is if you haven't done yoga before, is to guide you into the place where you feel like you're getting the essence of yoga. You're present and you're enjoying it, and you feel the effects immediately. And that's my joy. That's
Yeah.
my joy.
Well, I can speak from my own experience. It did have effect immediately. And, you know, we do need that healthy aging. We need to work on our health if we really want to stay active in society, in the economy, etc. So thank you very much. And one of the other things I also told you, we are moving into the 50s, 60s, and we were talking about, so what is important, you know, you have to create this program that is focused on this age group. And I said, well, you know, think about, you know, I'm a grandmother, almost 4. I'm a grandmother, and my grandson loves to play on the floor, you know, all these Lego. And come on, mom, grandma, we want to build a train. I love to do that, you know, just sit with him and build that train. But then, you know, he's finished and I want to get up. And that is the moment that you feel like, I missed something on the way. Something happened, and that is not as flexible anymore. And these are the things to work on, because those things are important. I don't have to stand on my head. I need to be able to do the things in normal life. Yeah. Thank you very much.
We can just do it very simply and move along and notice and not ignore. And it is so empowering, because what you feel in your body can come out in your mind and can restrict you. And so we want more freedom in our lives to move and to groove.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Deborah. And I want to move to Mary Jane, because she's also in that first part, that healthy aging part, that resilience, that sleep and things like that. So your programs are also there. So I would like to give you the floor. But you are also very interested in neuroscience, neuroplasticity. And we did some sessions on that, you know. How long can we, until what age or until what moment can we keep on learning?
Till the day we die.
Till the day we die.
As long as we maintain a healthy brain. All right. So part of that, of course, is hereditary. We might not have all total control over, but we have certainly enough control that we can allay the onset of symptoms, etc. And part of that is through the work that Deborah does, and certainly the physical movement aspects. Just came out of a conversation with the nurse who just has done some deep dive into the research on this. And dementia is something that with exercise, we've developed the new brain capillaries that we heard about last week in the session, the live talk session. And especially if you're using your thigh muscles, by the way, that just came out this afternoon. So that was kind of interesting. But my experience has been in the last 12 years, I'm a trainer facilitator, primarily working within the corporate environments. And I focused on the aspects of stress and resilience. My deep dive came out of a personal reason. My background is nursing. So I had a solid medical background in order to support me when the time came to do my own deep dive into what is stress, what does it do to us physiologically, how can we better deal with it? And from that became actually the deeper study into resilience, and how do we develop effective strategies for bouncing back and growing and learning from those setbacks that we experience, what I like to call the bouncing forward part of the equation. So we bounce back in order we can bounce forward. And so a lot of the sessions, I do 4 sessions. The title of the sessions that I do is the Springboard for Resilience. And the 4 different aspects that I've approached is smart about stress, so that you have a good understanding about what stress is, what it does to us, and how we can better manage, deal with it. I'm not quite sure I like the word manage, but how we can find the strategies to handle it better in our lives. And building personal resilience is the second masterclass that I do. And then the third is lifelong learning for better brain health. And the last, which is really closely linked with that one, is sleep yourself smarter. So those are the 4 components that I bring in. And yes, you're right, Ingen, the neuroplasticity of the brain is something that I really also bring into because, you know, and Robert, you said it last week in one of the sessions that we were in, you can teach an old dog new tricks. So with a lot of fun and interaction, et cetera, in these workshops, this is really what I want to get people thinking about, and understanding that no matter how long you've been doing something a certain way, you can create new neural pathways that are going to, where you'll develop new habits, new ways of doing things. And so yes, we can learn, as I said, until the day we die. We just have to be aware of what we need to do in order to keep our brains as healthy as possible. So kind of in a nutshell, not quite.
Yes, thank you very much. And I like that bouncing forward. You know, there is always something, and especially in this world that we live in now, you know, there's so much happening. So I can imagine also for, you know, the aging population, of course, you can say we've seen it all, we've been there all, you know, there's more crisis than others that we have seen, than the younger ones that we have seen. But there's still, you know, so much happening in the world, so much happening in our life. And we need that to build that resiliency. And we need to work on our stress. We absolutely have stress, all of us. And
yeah, you can't avoid it. You can't avoid it. You can only learn to deal with it better. And this is where things also Deborah was just mentioning, but the emotional agility, emotional self-regulation, breathing, critical piece. Yes. I mean, absolutely so critical. And but there's physiological reasons why. So, and this is really what I focus on, are the scientific based strategies that you can incorporate into your life, and then provide some good to know information that supports the strategies that you'll be learning through these workshops. So that's basically it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're
Mary
welcome.
Jane Roy. One more question. When is your first session starting, Mary Jane? Because I think we're getting closer to that
Yeah,
moment.
We're getting close, September 6th.
September 6th. And all your sessions, they can be booked, you know, separately, but also,
exactly,
you know, the 4, and then we'll pay a little bit less. And that is also for interesting, you know, of course, the members of the Wize Move Society, we can all book our sessions on the platform, of course. Non-members are welcome. You will pay a little bit more, of course, but then it gives you also a reason to join us on the Wize Move Society, because it's not only about the discount, but also about all the other things that are happening online. So thank you, Mary Jane, and we will post more about it in the coming week. Yeah. So if we, and I just like to just reshare that visual, just to let you know where we are. So we had these exercises, but here we also had that mindfulness, that consciousness, and working on resiliency, all these things that are on this side of the visual. And then now we're going to move into that friends part, that building new networks part. And therefore I would like to, Siri is talking to me, so let me just finish him. That part is something that I would like to ask Robert Vos to jump in and share a little bit more, well, first of your background, but then about what you're going to do about especially building professional new networks and showing who you are on these platforms. Robert, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Ingen. Good afternoon to everybody, or good morning if that applies to you. My name is Robert Vos, and I'm working from out the Netherlands. I'm a coach, I'm a mentor, I'm a trainer, specifically for ambitious and competent women who want to move up into their organizations, but actually everybody else as well. And you know what Ingen already is mentioning is creating this network of friends, of any person actually that can help you move on, move further into a new endeavor, a new enterprise, an entirely new part of your family you never heard about, or you just had the idea that might exist someplace. So, move around in this world. And you know what happens when you start doing that? Once you knock on a door, that particular person will start asking, who are you? What are you looking for? What do you want? So it's very important to be prepared. So in the 3 master classes that I teach, for the next, coming weeks, I start with profiling and branding yourself. Because once you start going out, you start networking, people will immediately look up who you are. So you have to make sure that you have a good story, that you have a good narrative, that you have a good profile. And we all know this story about this excellent salesman that is, he is capable of selling anything, but then once he has to sell himself as a person, then all of a sudden it becomes quiet because now I have to look into myself, do some self-insight, do some self-reflection to better understand who am I and how do I want to introduce myself to the other persons. Now, I made a short introduction, just now for myself, but a longer introduction will tell you who I am, what I do, what I'm good at, the things I strongly believe in. And actually, the most important question I will answer is, why do I do the things I'd like to do? And that why question was important for the company you work for. The why question was important in your marketing campaigns. But once you start going out yourself, you as a person, you need to be able to answer that question, why am I, not my company, but why am I as a person doing the things I want to do? So that's the first masterclass is all about that, answering these questions. There will be a lot of interaction. I will give you some exercises. You don't have to fill in all the blanks within the 90 minutes we have available for that very first masterclass. So you can continue afterwards. And then we go into the second masterclass, which actually helps you to start networking. We all have family, we all have friends, we have neighbors. So you can't tell me that you don't have a network. We all have a network to start with. But using that personal network, I will show you how you can use that personal network to go out and find relevant people. And what's relevant? Well, relevant to you can mean people that are able to provide you with new assignments. If you're looking as an independent entrepreneur, if you're looking for assignments, for jobs, or if you're still looking for a job within a corporation, how to approach these corporations. I always try, as soon as you pass the 50 years of age, I always try to avoid to apply to a job that was posted, you know, in a newspaper, on a job board, or on a corporate website, because it's difficult to get in. If you know people, and I will tell you how you get your network to work for you, to get into these corporations, into these enterprises, then instead of doing a cold application, all of a sudden you will be able to do a warm application. So you will start talking to people that will, you know, are very, very willing to for your introduction. They will listen to you, and you will have a very good chance of getting that particular position. Or actually, you may learn about positions that have not been posted at all. And that's the interesting thing about networking. The third class is all about bringing this together. So your profile, which is a passive way of showing who you are, the network capacity, so your capability to start networking, to go out. And then in the third class, I will bring that together using the tool LinkedIn. So you will be able to profile yourself, to brand yourself using LinkedIn. And then obviously LinkedIn has a lot of facilities that will help you to find the right persons, the relevant person to talk to. You know, starting from your own personal network, go out, find the right people, and start having conversations. Now, the interesting thing is that you can use this social medium LinkedIn to get introductions in real life. And it's excellent, you know, to make an appointment and go to an office or go to a person's home and meet in person. And then obviously a tool like LinkedIn helps you to do your homework. So you can see who you're meeting next week. And also, obviously, you can see what is in his or her network, the relevant people in his or her network. And instead of asking the question, you know, do you know some people who can help me further down the line? By doing your homework, you can actually say, Robert Vos, I saw in your network, Mr. A, Mrs. B, and Mrs. C, could you introduce me to these people? You know, and I can tell you whether these people are relevant for the search you're doing. And I might, because now I understand what you're looking for, I might actually add 1 or 2 additional persons. Now that in a nutshell are the 3 classes. And like Ingen told you already, you know, being a member of Wize Move Society, you enjoy a discount. You can sign up for each and every masterclass separately. You know, if you already know how to brand yourself, but you're still anxious to learn about networking, you can sign up for the second masterclass only. But you can also sign up for the entire series, which provide an additional discount. I hope, Ingen,
that's very complete. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know, I love the word that you mentioned a lot is relevant. And you know, I was talking to someone last week, and she really wanted to completely make a career change and even start a business. And then she came back and said, well, you know, I've been talking to these people and they think I shouldn't do this. And then I asked, so who have you been talking to? And it was the family and the neighbor. And I said, do you think these family members would ever make a major change like you want to do now? No. I said, is your neighbor someone who really would be open to make this huge change? No. I said, so why are you asking them? You know, ask the people. They can be your friends. You know, you can invite them for a drink or for a barbecue, but ask the relevant people if they can support you and cheer you on to make that happen. So I like that word, relevant. The other thing is, of course, you know, that friends part, that is also very important. Where is that happening? That friends part. If you do come at that age, you know, you age and maybe you have to change also your surroundings. You move to a different area. You need friends locally. You need a support system locally, because that is also something to, well, you might need it in any way that can happen. So also that part is very important. Do fun things together. It's life is a lot about fun and about joy. Thank you very much, Robert. I would like to move to Cecile, because you're designing a great project. What is more focused on leadership? So I would like you to tell a little bit more about what you're offering.
Thank you so much, Ingun, and very happy to be here. Just about me, I'm a coach specialized in multiple brain integration and also in feminine leadership from a holistic point of view. So I'm really looking at body, emotions, mind and spirit, depending on how open people are to receive also that energy and to work with it. And I'm an author. I've written a novel called Rose, Letters of Love to Life, where I also incorporated some of the knowledge that I've accumulated over the years. The offer I'm designing is about taking wise decisions. As you mentioned very much in the beginning, Ingun, is that we are in a VUCA world, so very accelerating, uncertain, and people are quite stressed out. And Deborah is talking, like Mary Jane as well, about having that balance between body and mind. And the way I'm looking at leadership decision-making and is also a holistic way. When we talk leadership, I'm not assuming that everybody has a leadership position within a company. When I talk about leadership, it can be somebody of 50 or 60 plus, retiring, wanting to set up their own business, but having to have some tools to be resilient to stress as well. But also to be capable to really take wise decisions. So the design is all about tapping into the intelligence of our multiple brains. We all know that we have a head cluster brain that is developed over many centuries and millennia, and that recently we discovered that we keep learning because of that flexibility, specifically in the frontal area, that we access also with mindfulness and exercise, like Deborah is offering. But my approach is also to help you very consciously to tap into the intelligence of your heart brain and the intelligence of your belly brain. And why is that? Because all three brains have a very different function in our lives. The function that the brain here that we are using so much that makes us who we are as human beings is very, very creative. And when we talk about getting older, but also in business, we need creative ideas. But unless they are held by something deeper, such as the why that Robert was referring to, that is much more what makes my heart sing, what makes my heart jump from joy and passion, and I want to engage at 60 plus for another 20 years in my business, that's heart energy. And that's the heart brain talking. And the belly brain is the one that is really connected to having the guts, literally, to actually move on and do the things you need to do when you are either having your own business or just wanting to take a wiser decision. So these are, in a nutshell, some explanations of the differences of our brains. But the wisdom comes in is when you're not giving superiority to one brain to another, but that you're capable consciously to align them. And that goes with conscious breathing. And that also goes by knowing what is the function of which brain. And then knowing that sometimes you might, out of habit, out of culture, out of conditioning, using one brain instead of using the other one that is much better in doing things. And that's what we often see is that, you know, you're running with your head. Many ideas. Whereas you should be running by just doing things and get on with it without overthinking things. So it's a question of making the right choices at the right time, and over time reconditioning your neural system so that you're actually using the right connections to do the right thing. And that's something that you can train. Now, why do we talk about leadership decision-making in the corporate world, but also as an individual? It's so important to be aware that we are so much more than head on legs. And what we need now is to expand our potential, and specifically as we grow older, but also young people. If we can tap into the wisdom that we've got innate in us in an appropriate way with a roadmap that I will bring in a couple of sessions to you, by interacting, having fun, exercising, giving you some homework, well, the resilience will be better. You have flexible mindsets. And as Mary Jane was saying, you know, you can learn till the last day and discover yourself and yet another potential that you didn't know you had.
Yes, thank you, Deborah. Cecile, you know, the thing is, when I only listen to you, see this big smile, you know, I'm already getting excited to join also these classes, because, you know, I can think, you know, I'm offering the platform, but there's so much wisdom there to share that I'm really looking forward to be actually participating in those classes, to also, you know, develop my own brain and my own leadership, my own lifelong learning. So really excited about that. And Cecile, we don't know it. Tomorrow we're going to decide on the day, so we'll get that in the schedule as soon as possible, but that will be soon. So thank you for now.
Thank you so much.
Exciting about your program. And then, well, I'm not going to say last but not least, because we have some more things to share. But Mariska Reinering, she joined us actually a couple of weeks ago, and actually because when she was talking about what she has been doing so far, I thought, you know, she is really offering something that we're still missing on the platform, and it's about money. And you know, there's a lot of us who don't like to talk about money, and many people, you know, they contact me and say, "Why are you asking these? You know, why are you asking money for these classes, for these master classes, for these workshops?" And for me, it is so obvious, so clear that if you really want to grow, you really want to empower yourself, you really want to evolve, you really want to transform into that, you know, the person in the next stage of your life, you need to invest in your life, and not just in hours and not just in energy. These programs have been developed by people that are chosen to be on this platform because they have invested so much time and energy in this program, in this wisdom, and building this wisdom. That is something that, you know, there's if you see what we're asking for, it actually, I'm almost, you know, I feel embarrassed that that this is what it is, but I'm really proud that this is. So let's talk money, Mariska.
Let's talk my favorite topic.
I know.
Yes, so thank you for having me be part of this, and I'm so excited. I've been taking notes because my approach to money ties into a lot of what's the others are doing. So I'm a holistic money wellness coach, and I'm an international speaker, workshop facilitator, and a mentor and trainer. And I often get the question, what is money wellness? Well, I was a financial advisor, still am, in Canada for 20 plus years. And I realized that we skip over the emotions of money, and we skip over the mindset and the patterns. And we just often go straight to the numbers, pretending there's no emotions about it. So I really felt that was an area that needed to be addressed, because emotion drives behavior. I mean, Deborah mentioned it, Mary Jane mentioned it, Cecile mentioned it. So it's really about looking at your relationship to money first, and then do what you're going to do, whether it's retire or start a business, when you when you switch careers and when you're mature, and looking at that side of money is going to actually give you a whole new insight that you didn't know there was. So what I did with a background in health as well as a physiotherapist, I brought in neuroeconomics and behavioral finance and money coaching to kind of package that up a little bit and look at that side of money. So I can talk, I know we haven't sort of finalized the program yet that I'll be offering on the Wize Move Society platform, but we're going to be talking mainly or especially about your money blueprint. So this really looks at what messages did you get when you were younger. A lot of our money behaviors were formed before the age of 15, before we were really conscious of what this thing called money was or is. So we're going to go back to look at where that came from and look at what you've learned and look at what you're carrying with you subconsciously, to then, with awareness, you can then make some choices. We'll also look at money types, which is, I think, a really fun way to look at some patterns that you have when it comes to money. Like some people really avoid money at all costs. Some people feel that there's never enough. There's sort of a fear behind it that they always have to work harder. Some people, let me think of some of the other ones. Some people feel really conflicted when it comes to money. They love doing what they're doing, but the moment a price tag goes on it, then it feels really inauthentic. So it's looking at some of those patterns and in a really fun way, and then understanding, and then making different choices, making wiser choices, as Cecile would say, because we're also in the third session, we're going to look at money and your body. How does your brain process money? Money is not something that has been in our evolution long enough for our brain to have been able to process it. Cecile was saying we're not a head just on legs, but we're also not a walking calculator. So budgets don't work. They don't work with how our brain works. So this is understanding a different way of doing that, and understanding how our brain functions when it comes to money, and then recognizing which part of the brain or brains, if Cecile and I get together and create something too, how they influence that, and also our hormones, how they impact it. Because when we get stressed, we release cortisol. That has an impact on our body. And when we go shopping, we release dopamine, we get that lovely retail therapy. And that has a big impact on our credit card, or on our shopping. So it's looking at money from that part, and then also through that building the resilience, to help us get financial resilience as well. And that's really, for me, what money wellness is all about. It's not have that stress, not have that fear driving you. For example, if you, and then the last session will be about money mindset. So one of the dangerous money mindsets is that if I want to make more money, I've got to work harder. That's exactly the opposite of what we should be doing. One of my things is that the moment I started meditating more, walking on the beach more, so working less, I started making more money. So it's how do we connect the dots and enjoy life. And I think too, talking about an aging population, if you've worked hard all your life to save for retirement, then suddenly switching over and starting to use that money that you've saved up can also feel really scary. So, there's room to talk about that as well. But yeah, I'm excited to be part of this. It ties into a lot of things already. yeah, I'm looking forward to offering this to you guys.
Yes, I was muted. I'm sorry. Thank you, Mariska. And I think you already, and you motivated a lot of people when you said, well, when I started working more on the beach, I earned more money. I think there's this thing that everyone wants that. Yeah, but then you need to do the work first. So that is important.
No. You need to get into the right mindset first and then do
that is also work. That is also
work. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So thank you very much also, Mariska. And next week we will have more experts, more influencers, as we call you as the teachers, as our experts, who will share more about their programs. What I would like to, I'm going to share the visual one more time, because where we spend a lot of time right now is this part, is also the experienced entrepreneurship and the experienced incubator. And that actually refers to, well, starting your own business later in life. And as Robert already mentioned, you not just apply for a job, from an ad in the newspaper. Many people still really have an issue finding a job if you still need to find a paid job or a paid work environment. But many people in that aging, who are in that 50 plus, 60 plus, think about starting their business, especially when it is hard to find that job. What research shows is that many people who are in that age group are much more successful building a business than they would be as when they were younger, or as this younger generation. So it's really interesting to look into that. But then there is this thing, this maybe a fear or maybe a thought that you really are not an entrepreneur. And what is really exciting is that the Wize Move Society teamed up with the Global Institute for Experienced Entrepreneurship to bring this program to create, to awaken that entrepreneurial mindset in us, to awaken that entrepreneurial spirit. And that is a program actually all of you will be joining as teachers, will be part of that program. And Deborah will be doing a parallel program that is really focused on breathing and some exercising. That's each and every week the participants will receive a short video, focus on this coming week. I would like to just open the floor, because you are all the teachers. What do you think is so special about this program? Why should people join? Who? You're all muted, so.
Go ahead, Mariska. Go ahead and I'll follow.
Oh, okay. Well, I've been part of the Train the Trainer, and I've seen the whole program. And what I love about it is that it's really geared to, I don't want to say aging population, but it's really geared to mature entrepreneurs, which is different than how you would approach younger entrepreneurs, because we have all this experience. It's just a matter of really recognizing it and acknowledging the skills that we have. So it really allows us to have a good look at ourselves and really acknowledge us for who we are and where we've come from, and then uncover more about what we can do with that and how we can give it back to the world and contribute to the world. So I'm really excited about this program, and I can't wait to get started with it.
Thank you. Mary Jane, you also wanted to step in.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, I've been so impressed by Elizabeth Isla, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your last name correctly, who is the founder of this program. The amount of research that she's done into senior entrepreneurs, and if we want to use that term of senior, older entrepreneurs. And she has really put her money where her mouth is. Like, it's an expression maybe doesn't come across well in this case, but the effort she's put in is incredible in terms of really encouraging older people to become entrepreneurs or to develop an entrepreneurial mindset. You know, it's not even so much about, well, it is maybe more so about starting your own business, but also about how do you look at life and different perspectives and different opportunities that you might see. So there's more to it than just starting a business. It is about this wonderful creative mindset that we can have towards opportunities that come onto our paths.
Yeah.
But she's been a real, I've been really impressed with the work that she's put into this over the last couple of decades. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I cannot say that we, you know, I've expressed that already several times, but we're so grateful, but also proud and honored that we are selected to bring this. And when I saw the trainer, that it was not only what Elizabeth had developed over the years, but she was also so impressed of the, you know, the experience, the wisdom of the teachers that we bring to the program, and have been able to really also, you know, to add to this program. And that is really fantastic. Cecile, I see that you've unmuted.
Yeah, I'm joining Mary Jane in the admiration I have for the founder of this program, and I'm very happy that Wize Move Society can be bringing that into the world. What I really like about the program, it's a holistic approach. So it's not just how you do business and it's really about going into the passion, like Robert was saying, the why you want to do something, and including that can I actually do this for the next 10 years? Do I want to bring my energy into this for the next 20 years possibly? So it's very holistic, and it really triggers on all levels of consciousness how you can do business. And in that sense, she's opening doors to elder people, or let's say 50-plussers, that still want to contribute to society. And I think often business has I wouldn't say negative connotation, but has a slightly, you know, some people associate business people with greed. And this program is much more designed to be a contribution to society at whatever age you are in. Also to help younger people to not hold all the carry in the long term, specifically here in Europe, where we have pension schemes, etc. So that as you grow older, you still can develop to be independent and contribute to their lives as well. Yeah. So it's very holistic.
Thank you. Thank you. Robert, anything you want to add to all these wonderful stories?
Well, it is what Cecile is saying. It's an extremely comprehensive program. I mean, over 7 weeks, you know, it's, I think it's every Monday afternoon here in Europe for 90 minutes, 7 times. And, you know, it's like for the 50-plus generation, it's like me, an entrepreneur, you know, can I do this?
Yeah.
And this program really takes away the fear that people may have, you know, when they come to think about, instead of applying for a job in a corporation, they think about, maybe I should start my own business. You know, I have this great idea, but how do I do that? You know, and this program, you know, from the very beginning, how to start up an enterprise, and also to the very end. So we start literally with the end in mind. So how do I exit my enterprise later on? And this whole program, I loved it when I enjoyed, you know, when I joined that TTT, Teach the Teachers class. I loved it very much because every aspect of the entrepreneurship is being dealt with. It's great, just great.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. Thank you, Robert. Deborah, anything you're going to do? No, you have to leave. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. I just want to say that I agree with everybody here that this course is very unique. It's unique in that you're not only learning about what to do, but you're learning about yourself, you're learning about your brain, you're learning about how your passions are, you're learning about what kind of resistance you could have. So you've got a team of people that are very knowledgeable on so many levels that it's learning. It's like we're learning. It's that whole thing of never ending that learning. And which is inspiring. It's very inspiring.
Yeah.
This is a really unique course.
Thank you. I agree. And on the 13th of September, there will be a online launch of the program, and there, as many as possible, teachers will join, but also Elizabeth, so she can explain a little bit more about the why behind the whole program and how she has developed it. So that will really be great. So that is September 13th at the same time that we're here now. So Tuesday at 5 o'clock. And we might need a little bit more time than the normal 1 hour, but it will be all worth it. Absolutely. So for now, I'm really grateful. Yes, Mary Jane?
I just want to also, because I'm not sure if you mentioned it earlier, you might have, but that the program is starting on October
3.
October
Yes.
3. September
Monday,
6 for me, October 3. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And also registration is already online. So people who have already decided that they want to start, they can. Also, you know, the members and non-members, again, it would really be great that also everyone joins the Wize Move Society, because that only adds to everything that you will be getting and learning and experiencing. So for now, it's almost 6 o'clock here in the Netherlands. Thank you very much, Cecile, Mary Jane, Mariska, and Robert. And of course, Deborah really already had to leave us. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. And next week we will build on what we have seen now. The program is online. If you need any help finding it, please contact us and we will show you the way. So hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, Ingen. Bye, everybody.